Being a Canadian starting a business in the United States, should you use your Canadian corporation or should you create a US corporation? What's better for you? What's going to save you tax? What's going to make your life easier? I'm Sal, a CPA based in Toronto, and I specialize in cross-border taxes, helping Canadians just like you lower their US tax bill and avoid double taxation. Let's get into the video. So let's talk about U.S. Corporation first. The only corporation that's available to you as a Canadian is called a C Corp. A C Corp is a United States corporation and it can be formed in any of the states of the US. People usually do choose Wyoming because it doesn't have any state tax and it is the simplest and the easiest to form a company in. The tax rate on a Wyoming corporation is 21%, and whilst it might seem low, wait till you hear the Canadian side. So on the corporation side, some of the benefits are, number one, people in the United States will trust you more if they're dealing with a US corporation. Number two, you're also going to get better access to funding. It is very common for US banks to look for a Delaware C Corp because it's used for a lot of large funding rounds and a lot of large capital raising. So if you're raising large sums of money, I would actually not open a Wyoming corporation. I would actually go to Delaware, pay a little bit of extra tax, but it's going to give you access to so much more funding. Number three, and the final one, you're not going to get any double tax on a US C Corp. So you're going to pay your 21% tax rate to the US government. And once you flow that income out, there will be a 5% withholding tax as you're paying those dividends out to yourself or to your Canadian corporation. Now let's talk about a Canadian corporation. The corporation in Canada has a 12.5% tax rate. If you're based in Ontario, other provinces are a little bit higher or lower. It is so much more tax efficient. It's so much more simpler because you would have no US tax obligations at all. So you're going to be only filing a Canadian tax return. This is in the case that you do not have any foot in the US soil. That means you don't have any office, any warehouse, any employees in the US. You have no US tax obligations to file for your Canadian corporation. So first was the lower tax rate, 12.5% compared to 21%. The second was simpler tax filing obligations, nothing in the US. Number three, there's not even any withholding taxes like you did in the US corporation, sending money back to Canada. And number four is you can even open a US bank account with your Canadian corporation. So you go to one of these banks, TD, CIBC or BMO, and you open your regular Canadian dollar corporate bank account, but then you also ask them for a cross-border bank account. So they're going to open a US bank account right from your branch here in Canada, and you would be able to receive money from your US clients right into the bank account, convert that into Canadian dollars, and flow that money through to your Canadian corporate bank account here in Canada. It is so much more simpler and so much more easier for your clients and for yourself to have a Canadian corporation as long as they're okay dealing with a foreign corporation. So in summary, with a US corporation, you get better funding, you get more trust with your clients, but you have higher tax obligations. With the Canadian corporations, you get simpler tax filing, lower tax filing, but there's that bit of a trust issue. So let me know in the comments, what would you choose for your business? And if you're finding this helpful, I'm going to be making a video next week and the week after and onwards. Hit subscribe, you're going to get notified. See you in the next video.